What is this? What exactly is going on? It's gotta be some donkey business. The fact that this wasn't even reviewed or looked at by the NBA tells me all I need to know about the Warriors. More dirty basketball, and I'm not a fan of Draymond Green, but he's better than this, man. He doesn't have to do this type of shit. Dirty basketball should be beneath him. He's been in 2 championship teams, he's been in the NBA All-Star Game, he's been in one of the greatest movie franchises of all time. Draymond doesn't have to play dirty like this. And when he does, the NBA should at least look into it. I understand the Warriors make the NBA more money than any other team, but you gotta suspend Draymond. Seriously, Adam Silver, would you really sacrifice the health and safety of your players just for some extra cash?
Yes.
And the fact that Draymond is on the Warriors makes dirty basketball even more unnecessary. The Warriors already have the 2 best players on their team at all times unless they're facing LeBron. And by 2 best players, I mean these guys. That's right, the Warriors have 3 of the greatest scorers, and the referees have still been Golden State's most valuable asset. Not only did Draymond face no repercussions for this at all, Anthony Davis was the one who got the foul here. How is that even possible? Not only did Draymond get no consequences, he was rewarded. The closer you get to fouling out Anthony Davis, the closer you get to winning a basketball game. So, in a basketball sense, technically this was a smart play. The referees have ruined this sport. I also love how even Steph is intrigued as to what just happened, and the dude just chucks the ball away for some reason. But Draymond impacts the game in many different ways. He doesn't have to be a dirty player to help his team. Zaza, on the other hand, should most likely not even be in the NBA. He's not good enough to play in the NBA. He sure as hell isn't good enough to play for the Warriors. So he has to snap some ankles and rip out some shoulders to get playing time. And look, I know you Warriors fans love Zaza Pachulia, and it is all fun and games. Until he spinebusters someone into the 4th row. And isn't it funny that Kawhi Leonard isn't playing in these playoffs, so neither is Zaza? Injuring Kawhi Leonard is literally Zaza's best attribute. It's his selling point. His footwork is incredible when it comes to shattering someone's ankle. And the reason I'm bringing up Pachulia here is because he has had a very questionable play a few weeks ago, and that's just his reputation at this point. No one will forget when he single-handedly carried the Warriors to the finals. Single-footedly. And LeBron is playing great against Toronto, but he sure as hell better not play this well against the Warriors. Zaza is just waiting for his chokeslam moment. And speaking of LeBron, I don't know too much about nature or the animal kingdom, but I thought in a fight, a goat would stand no chance against a raptor. Turns out I was wrong. I think LeBron's attitude and respect for the game is my favorite thing about him. He's been incredibly well-spoken and humble throughout these playoffs, even though he has every right to be arrogant. For example, the best part of my career is tricking my dumbass 10-year-old fan base into thinking I'm better than MJ. One of his greatest quotes of all time. And I don't have too much to say about the Barneys. DeMar struggles with mental health, so I'm just not gonna roast him. But the 76ers do deserve to get roasted. Being down 3-1 to these Celtics is hideous. Ben Simmons has been an absolute disaster.
My jump shot sucks dick.
This just in. After having watched the 76ers play basketball, Philadelphia native Meek Mill is seen begging to be put back in prison. For more updates and information, hit subscribe. Also, can we pump the brakes on Brad Stevens? I understand he's an incredible coach, but it's a players' league. Some people would seriously take Brad Stevens over several well-established all-star players, and that's just insane. Although, if he can coach his way past LeBron, then I'm officially on the Brad Stevens bandwagon. And if he can coach his way past the Warriors, Let's get real. The Warriors would clean up the Celtics in 3 games. Now next up, I don't celebrate many holidays, but I do celebrate Drew. And I'm gonna keep it real. I had no idea who he was like 2 weeks ago. He's been kinda trash in the series against the Warriors, but he's already shown more than enough. Finding legitimately great two-way point guards in today's NBA is, I think, impossible. How many superstar PGs are great on offense and defense? Drew can do it all, and I had no idea of his abilities. He's completely outplayed Damian already, and he's also good looking, so that can't hurt. So Philadelphia was eliminated from the NBA playoffs by the Celtics, and Markelle Fultz put forth a scorching 0 points. Yup, 0 points, 0 assists, and get this, 0 rebounds. In sports, we like to call that a triple donut, aka a terrible performance, aka LeVar's breakfast. And his stat line reminds me of my report cards, just zeros everywhere. Unless you were graded in letters and not numbers, which in that case, his stat line reminds me of,
I'm going to give you a super F!
Markelle's playoff performance has been an F. Or an L, whichever derogatory letter you prefer. Also, before we jump right back in the video, it's exam season, so go to edison.com for hundreds of expert academic writers who stand ready to help you for any kind of assignment. From school paper to dissertation, get the right professional ghostwriter to help you with that A+ paper you need. And like I was saying, I also got zeros across the board. Only difference is, I wasn't paid millions of dollars to fail all my classes, though honestly you'd think I was, considering how terrible I did. But Markelle has been paid millions of dollars to fail in the playoffs, and it had to be rough for Markelle, because you got all of these other rookies out here dominating. Jason Tatum has dropped 20+ points in 7 straight games. Donovan Mitchell averaged 25 points in his first playoffs ever. Ben Simmons scored 1 point.
Did I already tell you about my jump shot? My jump shot sucks dick.
Which is fine because he doesn't belong in this category anyway, because he's not a rookie.
Great defense that last possession. Ilyasova ended up with the open 3, you know, Brian. They've got to make those shots.
I mean, you got Ben Simmons out here scoring 1 point. You mean to tell me you still can't play Markelle? How much worse could he possibly be than that? Also, I don't want to hear about Ben's rebounds and assists and box score. Dude had negative impact versus the Celtics. He scored 1 point, and that 1 point came from the free throw line, which I'm not sure why I specified. I mean, there's no field goal worth 1 point. Obviously, it must have been a free throw. Now back to Markelle. He did not play good, but technically he did not play bad. He just did not play. Look, I understand the erectile dysfunction his jump shot went through, but not playing him versus the Celtics was a bad move by the coach. When you're down 3-1, you should try just about anything, especially when, you have the number 1 pick sitting on your bench. This isn't some random Make-A-Wish kid. That's the number 1 draft pick. Now, I'm not so sure what the excuse for Markelle is, other than he's just not good enough to get playing time in the NBA playoffs. Simmons went through injuries also, so did Tatum, and not only did Mitchell go through injuries, he literally played till he got injured again. So looking at the Sixers lineup, I don't see how Markelle can work his way back into the rotation. He's most likely going to be a bench player come next season as well. Now, let's do some quick predictions for the games. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Cavs beat the Celtics. Damn, I got some balls coming up with a prediction like that, huh? Obvious sarcasm. No Kyrie means no win. Some people legitimately think the Celtics stand a chance here, don't they? The Brad Stevens story has been great. The Celtics players have stepped up, but the king from Akron is now in town. I'm sorry, was that too Dick Ryder-ish? Look, I'm not some LeBron super fan, but he's gonna need a super fan, considering how hot he's about to be in this playoff series. Yeah, I gotta wrap this up. Corniness is getting off the charts. Now, if I somewhat hated on your team or favorite player, it's probably because they deserved it in the moment. I don't hate Ben Simmons or Markelle Fultz or whoever I may have poked fun at. At the moment, they're easy to roast for entertainment purposes. Don't let that be a reason for you to not subscribe. The best part of the playoffs is just beginning. I will be uploading constantly because school's out. Before the video ends, I want to tell you about Boingvert. I'm sure most of you have heard of it already, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Who doesn't want to learn how to dunk? Boingvert is running the $10 for 10 inches special right now. And where do those 10 inches come from? Well, it's based on a survey from users. Average gains after doing the program are 10.3 inches. Boingvert has helped over 100,000 athletes get hops, so go to boingvert.com/ALI for 3 special bonuses to go with the $10 for 10 inch program.